This is the carpenter, surely the son of Mary. Are his sisters not here with us too? And they would not accept him. Whereas we have this morning from the gospel according to the record of St. Mark, chapter 6, 1 to 6. After making a name for himself in other cities, villages, and towns, Jesus decided to visit his hometown, to be with his relations, to visit his village, Nazareth. He had made name as an extraordinary preacher who even raised the dead, as a powerful teacher who taught in the synagogues and made deep impressions in people's lives, as a wonderful priest who cured people of all kinds of diseases, and also who delivered people from the hands of Satan. With this kind of, popularity and fame, one would have expected that going back to his hometown, his people would have received him with so much joy, with celebration, or would have received him triumphantly. But that wasn't the case. When he visited his hometown, when he visited his own people, they didn't see him as the priest. They didn't see the Messiah in him. They didn't see him as the prophet. The only thing they saw in him was that he was a carpenter, the son of a housewife, Mary. And they even made reference to his brothers and sisters because they knew him so well. And so they didn't accept him. Looking at the attitude, Jesus then made that famous statement: a prophet is respected, appreciated, and celebrated in every other places, but in his own town, he's despised. That reminds us also of that famous saying, familiarity breeds contempt. Now, when you have known someone so well, when you have unhindered access to someone, when you have an extensive knowledge of someone, when you have stayed with someone for a long time, or when you have got used to someone over time, there is tendency that you may not usually again appreciate his worth, appreciate his skills, or even his presence. Your admiration, your appreciation of that person, unconsciously or consciously even, might begin to diminish. It also happens in our relationship with holy things. If you have got used to a particular ritual, a particular way of worshiping God, or a particular way of relating with God, the tendency might be that you may begin to lose reverence. You may begin to lose your devotion. You may not see something extraordinary in what you do again. It happens to any one of us. For me as a priest, my most challenging thing in the priestly life, or my fear in the priestly life, is not how to live out my vows of poverty, chastity, or obedience. Not at all. My greatest fear and challenge is that I may continue to find meaning whenever I celebrate any of the sacraments. That when I come here every morning to celebrate Mass, that I will find meaning in what I do. Because I become so familiar with the whole ritual, I can even close my eyes and recite the prayers. So I have the tendency of doing that every day without even paying attention to what I do, without also appreciating the value, the worth, the reverence due to the rituals I perform. So it is a tendency because I become used to it. I tell you also, the first time I came to this church, that was about 7 years ago. I came to cover your former parish priest while on summer holidays. The first time I came to this church, I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. I was just looking at it and I was admiring the edifice. I was admiring the beauty of this church. Don't ask me if I still appreciate the beauty of this place, because I've become used to it. I don't even see, if people come to my parish to say, Nathaniel, your parish is so beautiful, I'm just like, is it beautiful? Because I've got used to it. I don't see it again the way I saw it the first time. The reverence is gone. That is the tendency. It also happens in our relationship, The first time you met your partner, oh, that was an angel. You adored her, you adored him. And then years into the marriage, you have seen her through and through. You have experienced her through and through. You have known everything about him. You have known everything about her. So, what is so special about it again, and about her, and about him? So that when people tell you, oh, your wife is so creative, are they talking about her? Because for you, you don't see it. Because you have become so familiar. You have become accustomed to being with her. So you don't admire again. And there's nothing special again in him or in her. Yesterday, we had our first Holy Communion. It was colorful. It was beautiful. Among the first group, there were 2 long limousine cars parked here. The limousine car brought candidates for First Holy Communion into the church, and also a carriage there. You see these children, they looked adorable, gorgeous, and beautiful. An older Christian could ask, what on hell are they doing? Celebrating First Holy Communion with limousines. Are they okay? They are okay. That is their own way of appreciating the moment. That is their own way of saying to themselves how great this experience we are going to have, how great it's going to be. That is their own way of reverencing that moment. That is their own way of respecting that particular moment. And then during the ceremony, you could see them, they cross their hands this way. I don't remember how many times I crossed my hands this way anyway. When they received the sacrament, they came to their seat quietly, piously. They knelt down, they prayed. The question is, as they continue to receive the sacrament, will they still do it the same way they did it yesterday? Will the same devotion and the same reverence be accorded to the sacrament? I don't know. But that is the danger of familiarity. When you become so familiar with someone, when you become accustomed to a particular thing, when you become so used to a particular way, even devotion or prayer life, you may begin to lose the sense of it. You may begin to lose the reverence due to it. You may begin to see that holy thing just that the people of Nazareth saw Jesus. For them, because we knew when he was born, when he grew up, we knew how he was playing around. So when people see him and adore him as a hero, as a prophet, as a Messiah, we don't see any of this in him. All we see is a carpenter, because that is what he is for us. So dear friends, may our familiarity with each other, may our familiarity with things of God never make us lose the reverence, the admiration, the devotion, the respect, the appreciation due to them or due to that holy thing. As I said before, my greatest fear every time is that when I pronounce these words at masses, when I do these gestures at masses, and at the celebration of other sacraments, that the meaning will ever be new to me each day. That my familiarity with the things of God and with holy things, and my familiarity with you also, even as my parishioners, may never make me take you for granted. That I'll continue to appreciate you for who you are, for what you have in you. May our familiarity help us to deepen our appreciation for one another and appreciation for holy things.